Welcome to the Morale Booster Network, a platform for entrepreneurs, career professionals, leaders, and the general public to give back to the society through coaching and mentoring. I remain your host, Dr. John Ugulu. I am an author, speaker, and strategist. I always say experience is the best teacher. You can stream or download this podcast from YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Google Podcast, Player FM, and Pandora. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome to the Morale Booster Podcast. I am Dr. John Ugulu, your host. In this season of From Idea to Impact, we will be navigating the journey of an author. We will dive deep into the creative process, the challenges, and the triumphs that come with bringing a book to life. And in this episode, we are thrilled to welcome our guest author, Tameka Denise. She is the author of Uncovered. Let's embark on this inspiring journey together. So if you are just listening to us for the very first time, I want to say welcome. Please like and share this broadcast. And here's the reason why. You might just be saving the life of that one person who has been waiting for a lifetime to hear the message that we will be talking about today. So please like and share this broadcast. So thank you all once again. Now, our guest is a coach. She is an author. She loves coaching people and watching them excel. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please join me as I welcome Tameka Denise to the Morale Booster platform. So, welcome to the Morale Booster, Tameka.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. And I want to say thank you for taking time out of your extremely busy schedule to, come here and share some words that can inspire
Yes.
those you don't even know. It takes courage to say, hey, I want to impact people I don't know.
Yes.
So thank you so much for taking time off your busy schedule.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. So Tameka, I know you are the author of Uncovered. How many books have you published in total till date?
Yes, sir. One book. So Uncovered is my first book, and I wrote it during the pandemic.
During the pandemic. Thank you so much. So, what inspired you to start writing, and was there a particular moment or experience that set you on this path?
So I never had an idea or never thought that I'll be writing a book. I'm more of a speaker, if anything. However, I met a woman. Her name was Miss Jenkins, and I met her at an event where I was a Mary Kay vendor, and I was speaking to her, and she actually has a publishing company. And when we met, we exchanged information. She had services that I needed, I had services that she needed, and we exchanged information. And then during the pandemic, I met her in 2019. And this event had nothing to do with authors. It was actually a mortgage company event. So they had a lot of realtors speaking. And she told me, she was like, Tameka, your face came before me. And God said it's time for you to write a book. And I was like, what book? I don't know what you're talking about. What book? And it was crazy. Probably about a month later, I prayed about it, and God gave me the A-OK to write the book. But what inspired me about writing the book, when I was a little girl, my sisters and I, my grandmother wanted to publish a book before she actually passed away. So when we were little girls, my grandma had a typewriter, and she used to handwrite what she wanted in her book, and she would ask us because she did not know how to operate a typewriter. So she would tell us, "Hey, go type up this." So we would type it up for her. However, my grandmother was not able to complete her book before she left this world, and that's when God told me, "Your grandmother started a book that she didn't complete, and you'll be the one to finish it.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Yes,
Sometimes we take things or events that happen, especially while growing up, for granted.
yes,
But at the end of the day, we always find a way, or we sometimes find a way to realign
yes,
with our childhood. And I'm happy you jumped on that opportunity.
yeah,
And just like so many other authors that I have interviewed, a lot of them were not prepared for that moment. It was like a dream, like, come on,
yeah.
you wouldn't even think about that. I'd
Right.
fall into that category. Like if someone had told me so many years ago that I would be an author, I would not have believed it. So I
It's,
believe when we accept our calling, when we discover our purpose, in the process of developing, in the process of undergoing personal development, these opportunities typically show up. Is that correct?
yes, yes.
So which means we need to, at all times, align ourselves with positive minds only,
Only.
or
That's
only
right.
quality people. Yes. All right. Thank you so much for sharing that with me.
You're welcome.
Um, yeah, can you share some of the biggest challenges you faced in your writing journey and how you overcame them?
I'm sorry, this thing is. So I would say in my writing journey, I would say the biggest thing that I had to overcome. Whew, let me tell you, Doctor. During the time that Miss Jenkins contacted me, I met her in 2019. Actually, it was the summertime in 2019 at the event, and I would never known that she was just. I would never known that. Now, when I did meet her, it was kind of unique because she said it seemed like I met you before, and I was like, no. So I started naming, some of the elementary and middle schools that I attended, and I was like, were you a teacher? I was just kind of telling her. She said, what where you used to work at? And I was telling her jobs I worked at, and she was like, it seems like I know you. And I was like, no. So I never met her before, but she just felt in her spirit that she met me before. Long story short, so when she called me during the pandemic, what she didn't know that I was going through some trying times in my life. I was going through times of, I'm gonna say, uncertainty. I was going through times of, God, is this what I'm supposed to be doing in life? God, lead me, guide me. God actually took me from a job. I was at a job for almost 12 years, and I was the collection manager there. And I met her in 2019. So when I met her in 2019, my life was transitioning. So I'm going from being an employee, and God is making me an entrepreneur. So I'm really stuck. So really, when she's telling me write a book, I'm like, no, I'm not writing no book because I'm not accustomed to it. So I would say to anybody, excuse me, it sometimes God will come and speak to you when you have prayed, when you have fasted, and when you are in uncharted waters and you are in uncertainty and you just don't know which way to go. And to answer our questions, he will send somebody to say, have you ever thought about doing this? Or, hey, I think it's time for you to write a book. I was going through separation before my divorce was even filed. But Miss Jenkins didn't know none of this because, mind you, she wasn't my friend or somebody I talked to on the phone every day. So I just want people to know this: when you are in alignment with God and you pray and you fast, but not only praying and fasting and reading your word for encouragement, but there's a bigger word than that. You have to have faith. And a lot of people I tell all the time when I coach them, doctor, I be like, you know what? I know you're praying. I know you're fasting. I know that you are isolated and you get to yourself to hear from God, but I think you may be missing something, and that's your faith. And if you have faith as little as a mustard seed, that's what God is waiting on. He's waiting on our faith. I can say that it was trying for me because I was going through my own thing, doctor. So I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't know what to tell the people. I didn't know how to open up because I'm like, how can I speak to people through a book or even verbally if my life is in disarray right now, I don't know what I will write. But as I was writing, God was speaking to me. And to be honest, when God told me, He said, Tamika, I need you to uncover yourself. I need you to be naked and vulnerable before the people because your testimony is gonna bless people. And here I go, doctor. I said, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna be telling nobody that. And as I was writing, I was erasing at the same time because I was embarrassed and ashamed. He said these exact words to me. He said, I need you to be uncovered so I can cover you. And that's when I proceeded on writing my book.
Wow, wow, what an inspirational story you just shared with us now. And sometimes there's so many people who get caught up with the fact that, oh, my life is not yet good, so how can I work with somebody to help them become better? But the space of personal development is unique,
Yeah.
and that's why it's called personal development. So when I see or hear people say, hey, things are not going well with him or her, and how can he or she coach someone else, I laugh, because personal development is a constant growth process.
It is.
And while you are being poured into by your mentors, whatever stage you have been through, someone is coming right behind you who has not gotten to that point. So you, at every point of the personal development journey, have somebody behind who is going through where you have already been through, irrespective of the fact that you are not yet where you want to be,
Yeah.
right? So that's a great thing. And that's what I always tell people. I post motivational quotes every day. Like every day. I've been doing this for years. Like I don't miss it.
Yeah.
I started with just posting one a day, one a day, one a day for years, maybe like 5 years. Then later on, I decided, oh, it's time to upgrade.
Yeah.
Instead of posting one, I post more than one. Now, people were asking me, do you make money off it? Why do you post it? And my response was always, these quotes are for me. They're meant for me. Those are my daily vitamins. And because I know they bless me, I wouldn't just want to be blessed alone. So I'll put it out there so that someone else can be blessed. You see? So that's why it's very important for us to accept
Yeah.
the calling, discover ourselves, develop ourselves, and deploy
Yes.
the calling. So thank you so much for sharing all that story. That story resonates with me very well. And ladies and gentlemen, we're still on with Tameka Denise. If you are just joining us for the very first time, please like and share this broadcast.
Yes.
And the reason is that you might just be saving the life of that one person
Yeah.
who has been waiting for a lifetime to hear the message that we will be sharing or that we are sharing right now. Like and share it. So thank you so much, Tamika, for that contribution. Do you have a coaching program?
Yes, I do. My coaching program is actually under I Inspire Rare Academy. So I've been coaching now for 6 years. And I tell people, I first got a coach. I tell people, if you got a coach, they don't have a coach. I tell people, I have a counselor, I have mentors. And when my coach told me to start a coaching program again, as I was going through trying times, but I get it now. When you pour yourself out, God is able to fill you back up, so you can actually be um, a blessing to people. Sometimes while you're going through your own journey, your own mess. But one thing I can say about everything I do, doctor, is that when I coach, when I mentor, when I pray for people, I make sure that I'm in the will of God, because I tell people all of the time, when God actually assigns people to you, that's one of my prayers, doctor, is that God, I don't want nobody else's assignment. Doctor, if say for instance you have to take a reading test and I have to take a math test. If you and I switch papers, I can make 100 plus and get an A on your reading test. But since my name is not on that paper, I don't even get the credit for it. So I don't want anything that's not pleasing to God and He's not getting the honor and glory for it. So I can say I do not take it lightly. I have to make sure I fast. I have to meditate. I have to pray for my people. I have to speak to my coach. I have to do things that's important so that God can speak through me when I'm helping people. But I Inspire Where is an academy, and that's where my coaching and my mentorship is all up under.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing that information with us. Do you have a website?
Yes, sir. My website is thetamekadenise.com.
TheTamekaDenise.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can visit her website. She is on Facebook. She is on Instagram. Her contact information is currently being, displayed on the screen for those who are watching the video, and for those of you who are listening to the podcast, her information is right there for you. If you've got any questions, feel free to always reach out to her. Follow her on social media, and send
Yes,
her a message directly to her inbox. She would respond whenever she reads your message. Is that correct?
I will.
Awesome, great. So now, what are your plans for writing other books, or is this just going to be the only book you would hold on to for now, maybe for the next 5 years, or are you thinking of writing something else?
So no, I'm actually writing my next book, and it actually launches a fall. So it's be August 2025. So get
Okay.
excited about that and get ready for that. And that book is after being uncovered. So
Mm,
I'm excited. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so excited about it because, Doctor, I know for a fact that because of trying times, and that was my first time writing a book,
yeah.
with me not being delivered from people's opinions at that time, me still living in shame and embarrassment and allowing the enemy to bother my mind and my spirit and my soul, man, I know I held back in that book. But this next book, after being uncovered, I'm so vulnerable. I'm healed and delivered from people's opinions, being ashamed and embarrassed about being uncovered. And I'm no longer afraid of being vulnerable so that
Mm.
God can use me. So, yeah, August 2025 is when my next book launches. So, get excited about that.
Awesome, great. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Now, my next question is, what role do you think community or feedback from readers and other writers has played in your development as an author?
It has played a big part. Um, because, Doctor, what's the point of doing something? Because it has to be bigger than you. uh what's the point of doing something if God is not pleased, if God is not getting the honor and glory for it? So God will send people to inform you that what you're doing has changed my life. What you're saying is doing this. What you did, and so that alone, it actually confirms that I'm on the right track. And sometimes people, sometimes I tell people this, Doctor, you have to be able to be at peace in your spirit. And every day I ask God to clear out my mind, clear out my heart of any chaos, any calamity, and any confusion, because God is not the author of confusion. So anything that's in the way of me thinking clear, remove it. But sometimes I tell people this: you have to be able to understand what positive, constructive criticism is and what is noise, because the enemy will bring noise. He will have people to come to attempting to discourage you, because you can attempt to kill, steal, and destroy my spirit today, but it won't work because of the work I have done, the self-care I have done behind closed doors for myself. So I learned what was noise and I learned what was constructive criticism, and I put some things I store and some things I actually get rid of. I trash it because I understand who I am and I know who I'm not. But people's opinions and people's input means everything to me.
Opinions. Yes, thank you so much for that, for sharing that. Now, I know there's so many people out there who are aspiring authors. They're waiting for all the pieces to be put in place, waiting for the perfect time before they can start writing their books. I want to give you 1 minute to please say some words of inspiration or encouragement to that man or that woman who's waiting for the right time to get started.
When you're on your journey called life, I want you to take this in deeply. You only get one life. That's it. One life to live. Make sure while you're living that you're being a blessing. I hear a lot of people on Instagram and Facebook, on Twitter, and they be like, you know what? I got 50,000 followers. I got 1 million followers. It's so sad how a lot of people, a lot of us have a lot of followers. But what are we really showing them to follow? What path are we actually taking them down? You do not have to wait on the perfect timing. What is perfect timing? There's no such thing. What you have to do is learn how to adjust and adapt. What you have to understand is when you be a blessing, the Bible says it's a blessing to give than to receive. Always make sure that you are expecting nothing from anybody, but make sure that you're giving all of you. Because at the end of the day, one of my things I promised myself when I leave this world is that I would not be saying woulda, coulda, shoulda. Anytime you are able to be a blessing, the Bible tells us if you're able to give, don't have a person wait. Give, and it shall be given back to you. Make sure you have an open heart and an open mind, and make sure that you remain positive. Make sure that you remain smiling and laughing, and keep your heart right and your mind right. Because I'm trying to tell you, you will be blessed above any measure when you learn how to be a blessing, genuinely.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. There will never be a perfect time. Never, never, ever. There'll never be a perfect time. So please, I want you to connect with Tameka Denise. She is a life coach. She's somebody who can help you transition from where you are to where you want to be. She's on Instagram and Facebook. Feel free to follow her. You know, they say whatever has a beginning always has an end, right? I want to thank everybody for joining us on this program. But before we go, I want you to know that we are excited to share some amazing ways for you who's listening to us to stay connected with our mission and continue to grow together. So, whether through donations, inspirational resources, or becoming a part of our community, your support and engagement mean the world to us. And I will be sharing with you some ways on how you can get involved. The first one is you can support our mission and help us continue uplifting lives by making a donation. Your generosity allows us to keep spreading hope and positivity. So if you want to make a donation today, if you feel this podcast has inspired you or someone you know positively and want to make a donation today, or if you feel you have already made a donation to a cause and will be thinking of making a donation at a later time, visit our website www.johnuhulu.com. It's www.johnughulu.com. Yes, you can go there right now. And secondly, if you are looking for some inspiration, you can also check our collection of inspirational books that are designed to motivate and encourage you on your journey. Visit our website to purchase motivational books today. Um, Also, you can tune into our latest episodes where we share powerful messages of hope, resilience, and personal growth. So, listen now and let the words lift your spirit. So, go to our website and you can listen to our new episodes on that website. And lastly, you can become a part of our growing community where we uplift and inspire one another every day. So you can subscribe today. It's $10 monthly. That's the monthly subscription. Whatever um, whatever you pay to join the community, it goes back into helping us provide more coaching and mentoring services. So you can subscribe today and receive exclusive content, daily motivation, and access to special events. We organize events, coaching and mentoring events, so you will have access to those events. Thank you for being a part of this journey with us. Together, we can, yes, we can continue to make a lasting impact and spread positivity in all we do. If you are just listening, don't worry. If you're just joining us, don't worry. You can always watch the replay. Now, I don't know where you're listening to me from right now. You who's listening, I don't know where you're listening to us from. I don't even know what you know about yourself. Neither do I know what the people around you know about you. But here is one thing that I, John, know about you, you who's listening to me. I know for sure that you have greatness within you.
Yeah.
And remember, today is the first day of the rest of your life. Thank you. Stay blessed and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, everybody. Thank you, Tameka.
Thank you.